Welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have this time is the Tojiro DP Petty. This is the 210mm version. So this line of knives has a 3-layer construction. The hardcore steel is VG10 full stainless steel at around 60 Rockwell. And what you've got on either side of that hardcore steel is a soft stainless cladding that goes over the top on the spine and covers both sides of the core steel. And so you can kind of see the cladding line. We'll get a close-up of it, but might as well just do that now. So there's your cladding line right there. And so it's an all-stainless knife for easy maintenance. This VG10 they use is a good rendition of VG10. It sharpens easily, keeps a decent edge, easy to touch up on strops. It's pretty forgiving, so it's just a good quality rendition on VG10. The weight and dimension should be pretty close from knife to knife. This one is 188 grams or 6.7 ounces. The edge length is right about 210 millimeters or 8¼ inches. And the overall length is about 350 millimeters or a little over about 13.7 inches. The spine thickness, this one is about 2.4 at the back millimeters, and about halfway down I measured 2.15 or 2.1-ish. And then we get a little bit of taper in the last 1.5 or so as we get towards the tip, and it thins out pretty nicely at the tip. And this is not a tall blade, but there's your choil shot. The blade height on this is about 36.8 at the back, and you can see you've got a curved choil here. The handle is black micarta, which is very dimensionally stable. It's a little heavier, but it's really just bulletproof and an excellent choice, especially in professional environments. They've got a nice finish job on these handles. You got a full stainless tang all the way through, stainless rivets, a nice full bolster that flows into the blade. So they do a nice job on these, and these handles are very durable. Here is your, I got my fingerprints all over this. Man, clean my hands off a little bit more. So see if I can get our shot here. So there's our beauty shot. So nice fit and finish on these. They typically, these DP lines, they do leave the corners of the choil a little sharp, so you can decide whether that bothers you or not. If it does, you can get some strips of sandpaper or emery cloth and various grits to your liking and do some shoe shine cleanup on that and have it cleaned up pretty quickly. Same thing with the spine. Some of these have just a little relief on the corners of the spine. Some of them are maybe a little bit sharper than others. It just depends on the knife that you get. So some people clean those up, some people don't. Totally up to you. You've got some etched kanji and maker's name and such on there. On the right side of the blade, this is the left side of the blade. Again, you can see your cladding there and the core steel peeking out from behind that. This is a fairly stiff knife. This is quite a bit more substantial than the 180. The 180 Petty, the handle's not as large as this. It's not as thick. It's definitely a lot lighter. So the 180 and the 210 are pretty different knives. This has a much more weight to it, a bit thicker blade, a stiffer blade. It's a little more meat than the 180. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for, again, from an ergonomic perspective. The balance point on here, the handle's a bit bigger again versus the 180 as I mentioned, so the balance point is still going to be right in there on these. And again, we got some stiffness on this. Let's look at it on the cutting board just in case you might want to do some board work with it. So they've got quite a few different lengths in the Petties now in this line. They got a 120, a 150, a 180. This is the 210. And so that's what our cutting board profile. It's got a nice flat spot towards the back. You could definitely do some serious chopping with this if you wanted to. And you know, it's got enough height where if you're kind of careful, you can get some clearance there, or you can put your hand off to the edge of the board and, you know, hang it out over the countertop or whatever off the edge of a board if it's taller for a little clearance if you want. So again, just another offering to kind of find those niches that especially professionals might want to use in the kitchen. So this is the Tojiro DP Petty 210mm knife.